Hello everyone, this is Professor Tariq Al-Taib. This is getting started with the C Sharp. So when you open the Visual Studio, then click in the create a new project. From here, because we are going to create a Windows Form applications, I'm gonna using C Sharp. I'm gonna use so if you do all languages, you're gonna have a multiple choice, but we're gonna narrow down. So we're gonna C Sharp. Then what kind of C Sharp? We're gonna do Windows applications desktop. That's what of limited choices, not all choices. So we need from these choices, we click in the Windows Form app, then next. Then we have a project and we have a solutions and we have equations and we have something called framework.net. .NET, it is like a kind of the infrastructures that run the application when you install this application in any computers. So this will keep it updated one for 7.2. We're gonna have old version as well. So this is the um, keep it as is. From projects, we have a have a project name and we have a solution name. And the solution name could have a several projects, different projects, multiple projects. So I say, for example, project, uh, for example, I'm gonna call getting start with C Sharp. I'm gonna do like this. Okay, get start. Okay. So in the solution name, I can create my applications. Okay. Then the good practice, if you go to your documents, create a folder, for example, my my C Sharp apps, for example. Then this one, and I say, for example, getting started. All right, so I'm gonna click in this one and select a folder. Then after that, I'm gonna keep then everything as is, like a framework. Then I'm creating, and here C Sharp Windows Desktop. By default, we will have several windows. We have a one, two, three, four windows. We have four windows by default. So this one we call Solution Explorer. So that's the solution I created, my application. See the name here. Then under this solution, I have my project getting started. So this is the Solution Explorer window. The other one, we have a properties window. So if I click here in this form, I have a properties for this form. So I have a properties windows, and we have tool window, and we have a toolbox window. Then we have our designer window. This is our designer window. So also on top we have like stuff as a home view, some stuff like a view, some stuff as we have in Excel and we have in the Microsoft Word. So let's start with the Solution Explorer. And the Solution Explorer, you can close this one, open it, expand. Okay. We have underneath, so we have a solution. So we have Windows Form applications. So this Windows Form application, this is the form. Under the form, we have, if you double click in this one, designer, and we have the code. Double click in this one, we have a code. So we have a here form, here the code. I can close the again here, double click here. I see the code behind the scene. So this is some files created by default for us by .NET Framework. So now we have this project. If I need another add project, so I can right click here, add new project. So for example, add new project. Again, Windows Form applications. For example, I can say my second project. See, we don't have a solution name here because solution already created. Now under solutions, we have my second project. Okay, then I created. Now I have a two project here. My second project and project getting start, for example. So we can get multiple project in the same application. So this is one for second project, you know. So I can jump from this project to this project, you know. So you can create multiple project. Every project, for example, student registration project, then library project, and start like that. So stuff like that. So in the main here, in the main file, let me go here. We have a form, and the form that form show that we have also have inside program CS. Program CS, if double click, there's where um, um, there is which is the uh, have the file that continue the code that start our project. So on our project running, we're gonna run this program CS, okay? And this is the main application. So also we can create that by executing the first file called startup code. We call also startup code. So also, if you go to the form, double click in the form, double click in the form, this is when the form load. This is when the form load. So for programming, we call the form one. We call the form one. So first, our main function will come here to call the form one. After form one here, if you double click the form any code inside this one and gonna execute after that. Now let us go back and we see the property windows. So if you click in the form again, okay, close this ones, close this one, do some clean, okay. So property windows, every windows we have a property like what? Like a name. So the text here, form one, I'm gonna call, for example, my form. See, change here, my form. So we can change many things here in this one, you know. So this is the properties. Um, this is the property name and the name for form one. So I can change the stuff like the size, other things. Okay. So in the left side, we have toolbox. Toolbox, which is provide different controls such as button, um, checkbox, labels, and other controls that are provided by default by .NET framework. That's make the C# very interesting programming language because we have some code embedded into .NET that provide for developer like us interactive graphical user interface. So again, if you go to double click in the form, you will go to the form CSC form, the name form1.cs. So the form CS here, that's part of the code when you run the programming. So if you go to the our projects, so if you go to the program CS, the program CS will run the, we have another program, something called program CS here first. So we have something called main. Main, this the main function or main code that running when you run the code. When you run this code, this the main first things you're gonna run in the beginning. So you're gonna see something called new form one. New form one, which is this one, they gonna run this code. So any code written will be here, will be run after calling from the program CS. So this like a seems like a right now the first code will be run in this one. So we have a three section here. The first sections using so those um, namespace that include also from .NET Framework. The sections automatically generated by .NET. That's code embedded for us and by .NET. So you have to write nothing about this one. Okay. Second part, the namespace that we using um, um, for this project. So, for example, we called my second project or whatever, so we know this will be the namespace. So here we have the namespace for this project, my second project, for example. Under that, we have a classes. So we have a class. See, under this one, see, you have a curly bracket here. Then we have our class. Our class form one, type of form. Form one, because this is meaning inheritance, and we're gonna explain that later. But form one, type form. Okay. And in the form one, we have an initialize components, meaning the controls. Then the code. If we need to write code, we're gonna write code here. You're gonna see um, um, inside the code. So we have this. We can minimize it or maximize it. In case we need to focus in some part later in the code. Okay. So now our code is small, but later it be we can minimize this one, etc. So you can minimize and or extend the any part of the code that you want to focus in it. You click in tabs here. You're moving from the bar to part from the applications. You click in tabs and tabs. So etc. So you can move this stuff here. We can do floaty, or you can return it back. So if you move it like this, you can move this one. So this is like if I like this one here, and I'm gonna move this one here, for example. So I'm gonna click here, this one come here, and I'm gonna put this one here, it come here. So it is still for Windows, but I believe the default one is better for me, but you have a free. So you see this one, click here, and I'm gonna click this one, I put here, so it's like this, okay? So far we cover small options here. We're gonna go more as we more do project. We're gonna have more options. Okay. So let me tell something. C# projects work only with Windows machines that using Windows operating system. Okay. And we have again edit, view, this the same things, and we're gonna review some stuff and as we go. But this is will be same things as Microsoft Word or Excel. So we can do edit and stuff like that. So if you need to run the code, you're gonna click in the start, run the click start. So it's gonna run in the code. It's gonna run. See now my form work is empty now, but this is what we have. If you want to stop it, I can click stop here, or I can stop in the X. Okay. You can save whenever you did something. You can click save here or save as or project as you go. That's it with the getting started, and we're gonna go to with the hello examples in next video. Thank you so much, Professor Tariq Al Taib.